me ask you this question. With Marks and Jordy, and we know their work, is it a possibility that you go your five, whoever that may be, Claxton or Sharp, and then the rest of your start, not opening day, but at some point in the middle of the season, that your lineup is Traore at the point, Cam Thomas at the 2, Cam Johnson at the 3, or your forwards are Cam Johnson and Yegor, and then you have your big. Is that a possibility of a lineup they could go with?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I just don't. Okay, Dylan, Breezy, LBL, you guys want to weigh in on that? I mean, is that a lineup they could realistically use?
What, Traore, Thomas, and Demon at the 3?
Traore,
Yeah.
Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson,
Yegor at the 3 is not. I don't think Yegor at the 3 works just because he's not defensively there yet. Like it wouldn't make sense for him. He's more so. If it's anyone at the 3, I would experiment with is Drake Powell.
Gary.
I would put Drake at the 3 and see how that works.
Cam Johnson's your 3 for now. He's
Well,
on the team.
I would say.
Well, I'm saying that if Cam Johnson is traded, hopefully, if he's going,
from your lips to God's
But-
ears, man.
Yeah, because right now, LM, I think that if we keep Claxton and we keep CJ and Cam Thomas, I think there's a possibility that we can win more games than we did last year, and that means Marks has ruined the tank. I really think that
we're going to be a sub 18 win team.
Yeah, we're gonna. I agree.
I think I still think we lose even with CJ and Claxton.
Yeah, we're losing more games than we did this year.
But
I
remember,
said this,
a lot
I
of
said this
people are going to
6 months
tank.
ago.
A lot of people
Yeah.
are going to tank, though.
Washington. All right, so let's put it this way. Washington has now CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, Alex R, Bilal Coulibaly, Bob Carrington, 10 times better roster than us. Utah, Ace Bailey, Larry Marketing, Keontae George, Isaiah Collier, Walker Kessler. They still have the vets in John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, and Colin Sexton as of right now. That roster is 10 times better than us. Charlotte, LaMelo, Con Kneppel, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Ryan Kalkbrenner. They got a return from Mark Williams that got them Liam McNeely. They're a 10 times better roster than us. Who else is out there? Toronto's got Brandon Ingram. They've got RJ Barrett still as of right now. They still have IQ. They still have Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl. Like, who realistically is worse than us in the NBA right now?
Can I just say one thing, and then I want to bring Breezy in. I want to bring LM in. I just want to respond to one thing. I agree that we're going to be horrible. And I think we're going to pick 6 then. We're going to pick 5, right? Like, I don't know that we'll have the worst record.
Yeah, I think we'll pick 5.
We could, but I can tell you right now, if Boston's picking number 1 overall.
If Boston's the 14th worst team in basketball, they're picking top 3. We already know
For sure. And I think
what makes you say that, though? What makes you say that?
Because
though?
the lottery's
They're gonna get
fucking
a top
rigged.
3
It's
pick.
rigged for teams that
It's
are
so
still in the
rigged.
midst
We
of
all know
contending.
it's rigged. That's
Well,
what
why
I'm
you
saying.
think Boston gonna have the best narrative to give the top 3 pick though?
AJ
They got
DeBantis is
Tatum
from
Brown.
Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and their superstar player just tore his Achilles. Come on, this is basic. Put 2 and 2 together. The league
NBA is
loves
licking their
sucking off
lips
teams
trying to send
who are
AJ
winning.
DeBantis to Boston. They're like, please don't make the playoffs. We will give you if you just missed the playoffs. We'll
Great
give you
draft
DeBantis.
classes result in teams getting rigged for the lottery. San Antonio with Wemby, LeBron with Cleveland. You had Cooper Fly with Dallas. You're gonna have
Derrick Rose, Chicago.
Yeah, Derrick Rose, Chicago. You're gonna have AJ DeBantis.
Kyrie
Boston.
But it's not like
Cleveland.
Boston don't still have their superstar player. He just tore his Achilles, but it's not like
They don't
his
have
season
Porzingis.
career
They don't have Drew Holiday. They have Derek White and Jalen Brown leading the pack next year with Georges Niang. They're
But
going to be a
Brad
play.
Stevens showed he could
and
be
real-
good though, so it's not.
But
like
look, if
like
Jalen Brown is on the trade block like they're supposedly saying they are, then
He
it would
is.
make sense for them to get AJ next year and pair him up with Tatum, who would be coming back from his Achilles injury.
Yep.
Exactly.
So now you got 2 wings that you can build with for the foreseeable future. And AJ DeBonsta as Jalen Brown's replacement would be fucking insane.
It would be
Like
criminal.
I would just. But if we did, but the whole thing this year I was complaining about, and what people didn't understand was, yeah, you didn't know Ace was gonna freaking do what he do and be like, oh, I don't want to go to Philly. But that's the whole point. Even if we didn't get top 3, at fucking least we probably would have been 5. We probably could have got Ace. It wasn't about just getting Cooper, Dylan, or Ace. Cool. If you miss out on that, fine, whatever.
Not
It's the
landing one
league
of
or
Flag,
whatever.
Harper, Ace, or Jeremiah Fears is a failure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Like even if we lost all the games and everybody was tight that, or if when we watched the lottery, dang, we got 5. Okay,
Still would have been
that's
happier.
Trey Johnson. That's Trey Johnson. That's
No, that I would have been
Ace.
pissed
That's
at.
like, yeah, that. But it's Trey
That pick
Johnson.
I'd be pissed at.
It's Trey Johnson. That's Ace. That's Fears. That's
But LM to
whoever you want there.
but
Let
LM
me-
to Dylan point though, like you can't trust your GM though because he's making
No.
moves that you're scratching your head to. So even if you get the 5th pick, can you trust your man to make the right pick for your guy?
Which
Not
is
at
why
this
I was
point.
hoping. That's why I was hoping that we did get top 3 because top 3 you don't got to do much brain power. You
Let me
just choose the best. It's just choose AJ.
He
I mean,
might.
just choose
let me
Ace,
let me
Dylan,
get Breezy.
or
I
freaking.
want to hear from Breezy. I haven't. Breezy's been real quiet. Breezy,
Enjoy the
give me
show.
your, do a little commercial. Let us know about your show, and then give me your reaction. What were your thoughts after Wednesday night when that was all over with? I saw you there. It was good seeing you. What was your thoughts Wednesday night?
Yeah, the best part of the Wednesday night was me and you and Dylan. Besides that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole panel. I see PCJ, Brooker, LM, LBL, Easy. Yo, to your point before we got to this part of the conversation, this year was the focal point was the point guard, right? They did that. Whether we agree with it or not, that was, and I think they do the same thing next year. It's going to be intentional on what they want, whether it be a wing or whatever, whatever. So I think that's the only consistency that I see. As far as the roster and them having what you said, what's his name, Yegor, Traore, and
And Surratt.
Ben Saraps in the starting lineup, blasphemy. Like it's no way any of those players should be starting over Cam Thomas for one. And this ain't even me being a Cam Thomas fan. This being a Brooklyn Nets fan. They should not start over Cam Thomas. I don't care what you're trying to do with them. They need somebody out there that can put points on the board. And I'm not
So,
saying that none of them can. I'm just saying Cam Thomas need to be in that starting lineup, regardless
so
of who they
breezy.
are.
So breezy. Weigh in with the anti-Mark stuff. Do you think he should be fired? I do.
No, I think me being optimistic, it comes to stop to
See,
an extent. You
Wait.
know what I'm
Before
saying?
that question though, LBL Breeze, rate Sean Mark's draft grade. Give him a draft grade for this whole shit right here. This whole
I
setup.
want to go around the panel. And do that. I gave him an F. Dylan gave him a D plus. Yeah, Breezy, and I want to go around.
Ooh,
I guess
fuck.
I give him I'll say what I said the other night. It's C minus. I can't see him being better than that. It's a C minus. You got 3-point guards. I deemed it unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? I hate high upside for all of the players, but contingent on what I've seen, what you will want in the 8th pick, and what you could have did, C minus. I got to see what's going to happen. So it's definitely a C. I could C plus it, C minus it, but it is a C.
Easy. What do you give? Give him a grade.
I mean, here's the thing, because I kind of agree with you. I think that I agree with Dylan. I will give it like a D plus, but then like the vision, like I know it's a terrible vision right now that we're looking at, but the vision, I'm pretty sure if it all works out good, the players that he drafted, I'm not saying they all could work out, but if they do, they have a feel for the game and they could play off each other, and they start from now growing up with each other, and then with the upcoming drafts, it might look beautiful. So I'm between a D plus and a C plus.
You guys are being generous. You guys are being super
yeah,
generous.
they are. They are.
LBL.
Yo,
you guys-
I'm
hold on. Can I
I'm
justify?
giving them.
Can I justify why I said C?
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Because before the draft, I said Jordy Fernandez see the game through a point guard eye. Jordy Fernandez went to Chicago to see about what pick we was going to get. Jordy Fernandez had a large say in what we looking for in this draft. And I think he was the one that stepped out and said, yo, we need a point guard. The whole thing with 3 of them, I disagree with that. But I
Especially
think
when you
that's
have
what it
guys on
is.
the roster like Keon Johnson and Tyrese Martin. I get it; they're on team option deals. They may not be coming back, but you have to think those 2 guys earned their roster spots based on how they were utilized last year by Jordy, right? Like these are 2 guys that he probably likes. There's too many guards on the roster if you assume that even one of those 2 come back, right? Now you have Demon, Nolan Traore, Cam Thomas, one of either Tyrese Martin or Keon Johnson, and Ben Saraff. There's no need for 5 guards.
That's the shit that's stupid to me. Like, why trade?
That was a head
If you
scratching
really
part.
believe, if you really like, if we pick Dylan Harper, your next pick is not going to be Diego Demin. You got your
Exactly.
guy. You got your guy. There's no need for another point guard. that makes me think either they don't believe in him as much as they think they do, or they have plans of running Yeager and Traore in the backcourt. That to me is probably the only sense that makes.
They can't shoot
Because
though, right? They
This
can't
is
shoot
how
though,
I'm
right? Both of
grading
them
it.
can't shoot.
This is
But
how
how
which
you say
baffles
that so
me why
lucky?
they was
Walker's gone.
picked.
D'Lo is
Nope.
gone. Those guys are gone.
This is
Nolan,
how I'm basing my
what's
grade
the
though.
score like Cam
Because
Thomas in this draft?
immediately not trading
Not
a
the
first
guys
pick
we
lottery
picked.
pick brings me down to a C plus immediately. The fact that you didn't trade up already brings you down to a C plus. The fact that you drafted 3 point guards goes from a C plus automatically to a D plus. Those two moves alone make this an absolutely horrible draft. You don't waste this many assets on 3 of the same positions without trading up. Absolutely.
Yo, Dylan. But
Yeah.
the funny thing about it too, though, before this
Oh,
draft, I'm hearing like
that's
nobody
it.
gonna give up their pick and trade it away or move their pick away, and now we get to the draft and everybody moving their picks. So, I mean, I have to agree with you
Oh,
on that point.
I heard that there was going to be a ton of movement in this draft, and it was going to be one of the craziest top 10 move ups you've ever seen. And I literally have the fucking post saved right here from Brett Sigel. It says, let's see. The league-wide expectation is that the Nets are going to make a significant move before the draft. What was our significant move? Taking Terrence Mann in the
22nd
place of
pick?
pick?
That's not
Terry-
significant, man.
No,
We
that
need
was-
more
that was
significance than that.
That was posted 4 hours before the first round started. That was posted 4 hours before the first round started. So that's fucking bullshit. Like,
remember that.
I believe that they were trying to make a move, but the fact that you're too cheap to actually get the deal done, you suck. If Sean Marks isn't fleecing somebody, he refused to make the deal. He just doesn't do it.
And you just sit
At
there
all.
and you sit there and like this is.
He sits there and
wanna-
takes it.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
cunt.
Pete and LBL, give me your grade and give me a quick explanation. Pete,
Go ahead, LBL. You go first.
Oh,
I broke
I'd
down
like
the
to
house.
be as kind as Dylan and say D plus, but I'll give him a F plus.
thank you.
The
Wow.
plus is
Why the plus?
plus
Don't take away
is
the F,
the
just do
plus
the F.
is
You get
the
a plus
plus
on an F?
is
F
the
plus.
plus is Traore and the North Carolina kid. And this is not to say, and see, this is what people get confused with. We all know that most of the guys can play. Danny Wolf is a good pick. So it's not that, but it's just what your assignment was. You know, it's like if I tell you write about the Statue of Liberty and instead you write about the Empire State Building, you're getting the F.
It
You know
wasn't
what I'm
the
saying?
assignment. Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
wasn't the
that's what I'm
assignment.
saying. It's not that you didn't write a great essay, but hey, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to say this because my guy's on here, Breezy, and I'm going to say this. Breezy will never join the anti-Marx campaign until something bad happens with Cam Thomas. And I'm
Wait
going
till
to
next
say
year, man.
further, and I'm going to say
Yo, you
further
funny as
that,
hell.
and I'm going to say further that if you keep putting Jordy, if you keep juxtaposing Jordy with, yes, him and Sean Marks have this plan, or Jordy has this kind of influence, then I want both of them gone. I'm just telling you,
All right, so
because
hold on. I got
this is the
pushback
way
for that.
they've been for 10 years. Go ahead.
All right, so 2 years. That this is second year for Jordy Fernandez. Say what you want about those other 8 years. I'm not even fitting like to, you know what I mean. Have pushback on what you're saying, LBL. You got it. But these last 2 years, I've seen Jordy Fernandez know the game through a point guard eyes. And I think that's the biggest thing that I don't want y'all to miss. Hold on.
Yeah, he just got busy. He just got busy.
Pete,
Listen,
did
I
you give him a grade
understand
yet? Pete,
seeing-
did you give him a grade? Give Marks a grade.
I'm gonna give it a C minus, and I'm gonna cause a little drama right now. I'm happy that they drafted Demon, and I'm
I
gonna
am
tell
too.
you why. I hate the pick, but if they feel after hours upon hours of scouting, going across continents, setting a group of people out to watch the players, I think they had Demon in 3 times at HHS.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff put into this one draft. If that's their guy, if you believe it, I want you to be aggressive. And if being aggressive meant reaching, then I'm happy with it. But now you better come through, and this kid better be it. That's what I'm gonna say.
My
Listen.
biggest problem again
Oh.
is I love the Demon pick, and I don't mind taking him at 8 because I did have him lottery projected. Most people had him in the top 19, but again, that can't be your only high upside player that you
Dylan,
just grabbed.
I agree.
like the
Breezy,
Trey
let
Ward
me
pick.
get one last thing in.
I like the Trey Ward pick, but you had to get Carter Bryant or Malawak. You had to.
Dylan,
I agree.
Dylan,
Exactly.
Something
Dylan.
else, but wait. I want to answer one last thing you guys
Let
were
me
talking
finish
about
it, yeah.
before. You guys talked about like getting 3 point guards. I can tell you very easily how that happened or how it could happen. If you're going by a best player available and you look on your board and you see who's next, you have an empty roster. So if you believe someone's actually a lot better than somebody else, are you going to pass up on a guy just because he's a point guard?
Just
We
to
have
answer
nothing to lose.
just answer your question or your statement real quickly before going to Breezy. If you have Ben Saraf on your big board higher than Rasheer Fleming, Adu Thiaro, Noah Penda, you're an idiot. You don't deserve
Yeah,
to.
something
I
is
agree.
wrong. Something is wrong with you.
That's
I
a
agree.
problem today.
I agree.
Especially knowing how you should be like there should be a checklist to drafting. This isn't hard. Like me as a simple civilian fan should I understand how you actually should be looking into a draft. You already got 2 point guards. No excuse. Don't overdevelop one position because these guys aren't going to have the room to fully develop. You're sticking all these guys in at once. Pause, but you know what I mean. And you're giving them no opportunity to grow on full-time minutes. They have no choice now. They have 3 point guards who are similar in age, just drafted in the same year, who are all going to be fighting for minutes and development. That makes 0 sense.
There's ways to work
Traore was not a bad pick at 19.
No, he wasn't a
Like
bad
if you
pick
get
at all, but
Traore
look
at
at how the board
19,
was.
fine, cool.
Outside
We
of
work with
Sarab,
that.
Yo.
But it's not like
I
you
don't think any
slotting
of the
them
picks
all
were
in point
bad.
guard,
Like,
though.
individually, just on his face. Like I don't think Powell at 22. I would have
The
taken
Saraf pick is
Ashton
the only bad pick to me. That is an F.
Yo, did you know that? Hold on,
Saraf
Dylan.
to me is the outliner in there. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
Dylan, guys. Yo, this is what I wanted to say real quick. I think they not looking at the name and they looking at the style. The style of basketball that they want to
You're
play.
right. I agree.
They don't care about the name. They care about the style of play. Who
I
can
can't wait to respond
play
to
the
that.
game? Who can play the game the way we want them to play the game? And
Can I say
I
something
think
real
it's
quick?
and yeah. I just want to say this last thing.
Gotcha.
I think they style of play is for them to achieve 25 to 30 assists a game.
Okay, real quickly. Can I rebuttal this real quickly?
Yeah.
How many championships do we have?
A big donut. A
Big
big ass
donut,
donut.
right? Big
Oprah.
0. I don't give
Big
a
ass
fuck
Dunkin'
about
Donut.
character. I don't give a shit about character. You could have 4 felonies and an attempted murder charge. If
I
you're
agree, I
a
agree, I
superstar
agree,
in this
I
league,
agree.
I
draft them.
agree.
That's a
I
fact.
agree.
That's one thing.
That's a
I
fact.
don't
People who are
care.
bitching and
That's a
complaining
fucking
about
fact.
wanting high character players, respectfully, go fuck yourself.
Jordan was
I don't
getting
give a
Hey,
shit
drunk
about
before
character.
every game and
It's
coming
some
on the
real
court and
shit.
dropping 30. Like, who cares?
I
I
don't
don't care.
give
I
a
don't
shit
care.
about
This some
character,
real shit.
about
He's
No,
a
play
idiot.
style, because at the end of the day, Sean Marks has not built a team that's play style has won a championship. So until you do
No,
that,
but
switch it up.
all right, so hold on. You look at the analytics; it don't say that the championship teams had 25 assists or more, or they were better rotation players. Maybe the Spurs. I don't know what they doing. Maybe they looking at the Spurs to say, "Look how they won it." Maybe Sean Marks called Coach
Spurs
Pop.
didn't
I
have
don't know what they
5 point
doing.
guards on their roster.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they doing.
Spurs did not have 5 point guards on their roster. I could tell you that
No,
for
I
sure.
ain't saying 5 point guards. I'm talking about motion. Just how many assists they had. Now they
Oh
didn't have that many
gosh.
point guards.
Let
Though.
me
Players
But
in
you
ask you
don't.
positions
this.
that do the
Let
same
me ask
thing.
you this. How many rings do they have without Tim Duncan?
None,
One.
Probably
probably.
not. Maybe one.
Kawhi.
The
Maybe
last
one, probably,
maybe.
but not
None.
5.
Who
None.
was the Tim
None.
Duncan in this
Probably
None.
draft? Who we
none.
could have got Tim
Zero.
Duncan at 8? Who's Tim Duncan at 8? Malawak?
Zero.
The year with Kawhi. That's
Zero.
the only one.
But my whole point is that you need
That
that
year, Dylan. Don't
franchise
forget
guy.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, but like
You do.
honestly, Portland. I mean, San Antonio had 3 franchise guys. Manu Ginobili is the most underrated player in the history of basketball, and I stand on that. Right?
Hey, talk about it.
That's
They
a
had-
fact.
Duncan, who's a franchise player. They had Kawhi Leonard, who's a franchise player, and they had Ginobili, who's a franchise player.
And we got Ben Sarab.
It was some days Ginobili was
We
one
got
of the
Ben
best players on the
Sarab.
court.
Don't sleep.
Yo, Ice. Did you see
Yo.
what I said about Saraf? I said I'm getting Jordan Farmer vibes.
Yo.
Saraf was a bad pick. If you get Yegor and Traore, fine, I'm cool with that. Your next
this
pick should
fucking
not be
real?
Saraf.
And the narrative that I don't want to hear is once Maxime Reynaud starts busting people up, I don't want to hear, well, everybody passed on him. because that's
I don't want
not
to
your
hear it
job.
if Kaman start balling in Phoenix
But
either.
I'm saying
No, I'm sorry.
because
We
he
got
went in
Danny
the
Wolf. There
second
was no need
round.
for right now. We
Because
got Wolf. There was no need for right
you don't pass people by because someone else did. You do your homework and then you find out why you want the person.
Yeah,
gonna
but there
be
was no
honest.
reason for right out after the Wolf pick. I understand that. There's no reason to not take Fleming at 26.
Man, you could have had Del Diallo in the second round.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. Like, obviously, it's only 3 picks I'm impressed with in this draft. Anybody the Ben Saraf shit caught me off guard. The Nolan Trayor shit, I think probably maybe one person had to add him on the board. I maybe Dylan had him on the board or two. I don't remember, but I listen. I'm just getting at peace with this shit because the reality is that like this draft right here is the reason why we've been giving up draft picks in the past. I'm starting to believe it. Like if this shit goes left, this is the reason why we've been going after free agents. This is the reason why we've been going after trades because of draft boards like this.
Yo, breaking news.
Nah, you can't
Powell's
put that
gonna
on,
wear
bro.
number
You can't
I
do
have
that.
to come to
Wait,
that
hang on,
conclusion.
Pete.
Pete's
What's
got
the
breaking news.
It's
Hang
not anything really special, but the numbers are starting to come out. Powell got number 4 right now, and we're expecting a couple of the other rookie numbers to come out.
All right,
Okay.
Like,
but
Four is a good number. I like the number 4.
I like four for Powell.
yeah, I like that. But just to finish with I just come to that resolve, bro, because if for anybody that was telling me let Sean Marks cook and Sean Marks was cooking in drafts where he had 19 through 20s in the past, this is the reason why our draft history as Nets fan, either Brooklyn or New Jersey has stinked for many, many years. So for those of y'all that's mad at this shit, bro, like listen, keep that anger because this is the reason why I said let's go after. Last year, let's go after John Morant. Last year, we was talking about going after Donovan Mitchell. We was talking about signing Andrew Nemhart this time a year ago.
yeah, because
These
you
these
had
are these are the reasons because we know we're like when it comes to drafting to
no, no,
drafting
So you
talent
want a
and
team
raising
to? So
no,
you
talent.
no,
want
no,
to
no,
make a
no,
team from
no, no, no,
straight
no,
free agency? Is
no,
that
no,
what is
no,
that what
No,
you're
no,
not
saying?
straight free agency,
no.
bro.
You
Like
had
I mean, you can make a team do trades, bro. The Indiana Pacers was literally an Achilles injury away from shocking the world. Like this,
We don't
this
know
is
what
no,
happened
but
truth.
that game.
all that leave. You had a more decent roster than you could say.
You had one
Let's
of the best
try.
stretch fives in rim
Let's
protectors in the
try
league for now. You
Donovan
had
or
Benedict
something.
Mathurin.
You know what I mean?
You had Andrew Nemhart. Like you had players on that roster. You had
Yes, you
Pascal,
do.
who's an all-star. You don't have the all-star in Brooklyn. No, it's not Cam Thomas. I love you, Breezy, but it's not him right now. He hasn't proven
Come
it.
on, man. This Cam Thomas team, man. Why you want to do that, man? Y'all already know it's Cam Thomas team,
This is his
bro.
team for maybe
For those of
365
y'all
more days.
niggas that think Cam Thomas is
Wait till
Yo,
getting
the
y'all
100 mil,
so
bro, I
scared of Cam
posted
Wait
Thomas
something
till the
leading
draft
his
already.
happens.
team.
Man,
Yo,
Traore
Cam
is
Thomas
Cam
leading
Thomas
his team.
replacement, man.
Hold on, Cam
Wait
Thomas
till he's
leading.
drafted.
Hold on,
He is
I
gonna
Where's
said
be
Cam
noise,
Thomas
bro.
leading the team? Where's Cam Thomas
Hold
leading
on,
the
just
team too?
Malonky, bro. Just Malonky. We
Where's
gotta
he
stop. But
leading the
hold
team
on,
too?
I ain't get Big Priest ain't say nothing yet. I ain't even trying to skip Big Priest, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. I'm good. Go
Like
ahead,
like
bro.
I like I was saying, bro. Like I mean, this is the reason. It's draft boards like this is the reason why I said we don't do shit in the draft, even when we do get draft picks, bro. And now everybody see what I've been saying the entire time.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
no, 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 no,
but
no, no.
what you're saying is an indictment of our GM. It has nothing to do with the draft. It means we
I
need to
mean,
fire
it's
our
an
GM.
indictment of all the GMs that we had. What did we do in drafts before,
No,
even when we didn't have it, bro? Like we picked Derek Favors over PG and a whole bunch of niggas, bro. Like we picked Brooke Lopez over town. Come on, bro. Like look at what we did in the
Brooke
past.
Lopez was a good
But I
pick.
Brooke
kind of,
Lopez
I'm
was a
gonna say
good
this.
pick.
I'm gonna say this. I kind of expected them to pick names that we wouldn't go for because I said that I said that earlier that they always will choose people that we don't go for. Like Yegor is all right, you know what I'm saying? And like Pete said, if that's your guy, that's your guy. Cool. You know what I'm saying? You pick him at 8, like Ellen said, you don't go for Traore next. If that's your guy, and you said he's the best available at 8 for the team, I'm cool with it. When you go
I'm gonna say
When
this
you go
before I get
Trayor
back to work,
next,
bro.
I'm not cool with it. That's when you start losing.
And
You
listen,
know
I
what I
don't
mean?
blame you. And I don't blame you if the shit turned out to be some dog shit, bro. But this is the reason why Dylan sits under a
But
hat. This is the reason, bro, why Gary is infuriated. This is the reason why so
I
many
had to.
people wants this front office out and wants this regime out, bro. Like
I
well,
had
they
Sit
to.
can
under
knew
a
what
hat.
I
can
knew
we
all.
What does that
They
mean?
they,
Bro,
they knew what I
Sit under
knew
a hat.
all
What does that
along.
mean?
Yo,
They
the
knew
can
what
brother,
we
I
what are
knew.
you
What does
doing?
that?
The
They
What does
brother
knew
that
what
was
mean?
I
Go
knew
popping
all
to the
listen?
gym
off.
with
along.
bedhead.
Who
How
was
does
who
Yo,
was
that
who
happen?
was
why did
who
Dylan
was
bring
saying
shit
No,
to
something to me
listen.
though?
himself?
Yo, one mic.
They knew
Hold
That's
what
on.
I, nah
the
nah nah.
Henry thing.
I only said that just to say it, bro. But they knew
Yo,
what
who
I
was
knew
saying
all
Yo,
along.
what the heck?
who was saying
Hold
something to
up.
me?
Hold up.
Who was
Hold
saying
up.
something to me?
I woke up with bedhead and went to the gym, threw a hat on. I was like,
Yo,
wait a
can
minute,
Yo,
we
how am I getting
they
shots
had
fired
to
at me
can
with a
we
hat?
talk
shots
about
fired.
Who
yo,
was saying
can we
something to me
talk
though?
about but Ice, I want to talk about style because if he is building this team with Yegor, with Traor, with Danny Wolf, with whoever, like I definitely want to talk because all over Nets Twitter, all
Uh,
we hear is, we don't see the vision because what he sees is a team that's
Indiana
like
Pacers.
this, or yeah, they say the
Indiana could
Indiana
shoot.
Pacers and
Indiana could
whatever.
shoot. They could
But
shoot
that's what
very
I'm
well.
saying. It's
What?
very
So they can't
different
teach none
than
of these
what we
players how
got.
to shoot.
So how
Well,
many
you know
players in the
what?
league
They
need to
can teach
shoot
him
and
how
they
to
can't
shoot.
shoot, my nigga?
They
Don't
could
do this, bro. Don't do
they
this,
could
bro.
teach him if
I
they
mean,
could
I'm
teach him
just
how to shoot.
asking, bro. I'm just trying to
Asking,
get a
and then
resolution here, bro. Like
No,
Yo,
here's
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
with the
trying to
way that
saying.
do.
they
Here's
drafted
what
over
I'm
the fact that they
saying.
I
drafted
mean,
so many
Everybody
people, they don't
we
make
got
saying
the players,
I
bro.
don't
We
like
might as
him.
well just
believe,
try to see how
believe,
it's gonna work, bro.
believe. Asking some players to teach them how to shoot or to move their feet to be able to play defense is asking like Jalen Wilson to slam dunk 360s. I'm saying it just ain't in them.
Ah,
So what I'm trying to
I'm
say
going
is
back to
what I'm
work on that note, bro. Like y'all need
exactly because that's what I'm saying. All they talking
I'm
about is
out of
well,
here, bro.
Yegor,
Be
blah
good,
blah
Lee.
blah, and this and that. Like
Listen,
offensively,
maybe we gonna get our athletes during free agency, man. I don't know, bro. I'm just trying to come to a resolve instead
what?
of I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. Like easy, just like don't
As
try
of
to
right now, we at
analyze,
least
don't try
have
to
to replace
overanalyze
Yeah,
everything.
what
but
I
you can't
say,
be
bro.
throwing out worse
Niggas trying to
decisions
push
when
this
we in a
I
Kaminga
confusing
don't
narrative,
state,
know
my
what
bro.
we're
nigga.
gonna do, bro. Like we
We
got
gonna
free
go back in
agency
free
money,
agency
bro. I
after we
mean,
fucking drafted 5 players, bro. Come on, bro. We can't
I
compound
don't
madness
know
here.
what we're.
well, here's
Crash
what I'm
out, leave.
saying.
Crash
The
out,
reason
leave.
Yo,
I
hold on,
here's what I
easy.
I'm not gonna crash out. No,
Easy in the
Do it.
he
The
chat.
said
fuck you
crash
mean
Do
out.
it.
crash out, my
Yo,
nigga?
hold on.
These niggas
That,
that got drafted is the niggas
talk
he
to him.
asked for. So I don't even know why
Thank
the
you.
fuck he could crash
Thank
out, my
you.
nigga. He
Thank
better
you.
kick his foot
Thank
down
Listen.
the
you.
phone and hold it
Thank
down, my
you.
nigga. He
Thank
asked
you.
for these niggas.
Listen.
He
Hold
asked for
on.
he asked for Igor. He asked for
Ah,
fucking
shit.
I
Thank
fucked up
you.
the
Yep.
name,
Thank
but
you.
he asked for the nigga. He
I asked
asked
for
for
Got
Yegor
Danny
you.
and
Wolf.
Danny Wolf, nigga.
Got
Don't hold up. Hold the fuck
Fuck up.
up. Hold up.
My
Here
bad.
we go.
I asked for
Hey,
Yegor and Danny Wolf. Slow down, bro.
And we good
Please
with
don't
we
make
good.
me.
am I doing this
I'm
wrong?
That's
not
Because
two
I
gonna
out
didn't
of
get
see the
five
draft.
angry.
players.
That's 2 out of 5 players. The rest of these niggas, I don't listen. I ain't know nothing about Drake Powell.
Bruh,
I
two
ain't know
out of
nothing.
five players. Why you so tight?
I'm not tight, bro. It's just that he's starting to yell, bro, and now I'm getting
Now
mad,
he's getting
bro. Like,
overstimulated and pissed off. Go off,
no,
leave. Go
I'm
off,
not.
leave.
But that was
Wow.
hold up. No, please don't say that again. But that was highly unacceptable. But all I'm gonna say is, bro, like now that we got the players, I'm just trying to figure out scenarios to how it could work, bro. Like, I mean, are you gonna pair them with a are you gonna find an athlete in a trade or in free agency or however you gonna do it? I don't know, bro. Like, I'm just trying to figure out different scenarios. That's all.
No,
Like
like
don't
how
at
do
this
we
point.
how do
don't figure
we
out the scenarios, bro. We go step by step. We gotta see what these players look like first before you start trying to make something
Yeah.
work. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
gotta see what kind of mad scientist ideas
What
they got going.
what skill sets
Yo,
would translate with the other players that we could get to help them?
and
yo,
when we examine their skill sets, let's also not take for granted, that to defend, to fight through all those screens and everything, like them dudes are athletes on Indiana. They not
They
freaking.
are
I mean,
athletes.
I
That's
mean,
they
so
I
hold,
are.
mean, outside
I
of
think that's why the Drake the Powell pick happened.
But
'Cause
that's
he's
what
the
I'm.
The
best
But
Drake
that's
athlete.
Power,
what.
the Drake Powell pick happens probably solely because of that priest. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So hold on. Let me ask you something real quick. Can Danny Wolf play inside the 3-point line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny
Yeah.
Wolf can
Yeah.
All right,
play
so
anywhere on the
hold on.
floor.
So what I'm saying is, last season we seen the offense be ran through drive and kick. We seen that. Everybody's seen that. We're not finna go through the hoops. Now I'm saying with a Danny Wolf added to the offense, now we can see PNRs, right? So you're gonna get PNRs and
You
drive
can
and
do
kick.
a
What do you
big
go?
on
You know what I'm
big
Jordy
saying?
PNR with
point
Danny
the
Wolf.
point series offense. That's when you saw Ben Simmons or Clash get the ball at the elbow, and you saw a lot of like fake handoffs, a lot of movement running around. I think that's why they got Danny Wolf, because he's going to be in that position
But
because
is
he
he
Danny
can
don't play
is he
like
dribble,
the
that
same
though.
So he
power?
play
pass.
That,
playmaker from
that's
He's
top
not
a
post.
Danny's
solid
Post.
game.
That's what's going
shooter,
on.
30,
Danny
30%
plays with the
three-point
ball in his
shooter. He's got
hands.
some solid upside as a floor
Exactly.
spacer.
Yep.
The only problem to his game, realistically, is his physicality and his free throw percentage. That's really it.
And he's got a high turnover rate too.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
that
player
Do we
Danny
do
development.
used to
we
That's
have the
player
do
ball
we
in his
think
development,
with
hands
bro.
Ye-
That's
all the
player
time.
development, bro.
do we think
Danny,
with do we
Hold
think
on,
with
hold on, hold on, hold
Jaeger?
on. Hold on. I want to ask Gary a question real quick. My fault, y'all. I just want to ask,
Yeah.
what do you think that Juwan Howard could do with Danny Wolf? You think he could help him be a better player? Like he's gonna be the specific player, like in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, helping Danny Wolf along. Like, what do you
No,
think about that?
I think it's Jordan Howard's the perfect coach for him. I think that's a perfect fit for him. A lot of people think very highly of Danny Wolf. Like Dylan does. That's a better question for Dylan, honestly. Dylan,
I like him
you want
too.
to get in
I
on
like him
what
too.
Howard
What are we
can do
talking, Danny Wolf?
with Wolf? Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's a
how
better question
Juwan
for him.
Howard could help him be in player development with all of this, you know what I mean, stuff he need to work on in his first 2 seasons, 3
It's
seasons,
not about
whatnot.
putting on weight because he is 30
He's a
pounds
big
heavier
dude.
than Nick
Yeah.
Claxton. It's more
he's
so
250.
just the style of play to his game. Like he doesn't have the physical offensive style that most modern bigs have. He's more of a stretch five where he can space out the floor, he can play make through the post, he can rebound pretty well. I mean, he was averaging 9.7 rebounds this year. So he does that very well.
He's
That's
probably
why I say
better.
Brooke Lopez.
He's
That's just
probably
not
He's
his
like
time.
no,
I wouldn't say he's
no,
a
Brooke
big.
Lopez
no,
not his
no,
time.
no, no.
No,
He's
he's a that
probably
is
No,
a
he
he's
can
forward.
probably
do. He
ice.
can actually probably
Ice.
do a little bit
He's
more
kind
than
of
Brooke
He's like a
So,
Lopez.
Sengun
so
light.
yeah.
what's the
He's like a
difference
He's
between him and Brooke Lopez? That's what I'm asking.
not.
Like,
You're
Brooke
He
talking
can
Lopez.
about
handle
Brooke
the
Hold
Lopez
on. Let
ball
me
being
on the
answer that. Let me
best?
perimeter.
answer that. Let me answer that. Brooke Lopez came into the league as a primary defensive rim protecting big.
Yeah.
He was an incredible defensive big. As he got older, him and Al Horford are probably the only two that actually were able to stick around from that era because they developed floor spacing abilities. So yes, if you want to talk about modern day Brooke Lopez, maybe you can put it alongside like a comp for Danny Wolf, but realistically, he's like a Sengun like player. Maybe not at the
I,
all-star level that he does it at, but in terms of style of play, the weaknesses to his game, the strengths of his game,
I
it's
would
very similar to
say
Sengun.
I would say he reminds me sort of Joe Engles when Engles was going good.
Oh no, I mean Ingles is a forward at 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's a
Wolf is
I don't
better
think that's
player
a
six.
than
good
Joe Ingles.
comparison.
Let me. Dylan knows him well. I mean, can he play the four? I heard a lot that he can play the four. He's
Yes,
Yeah,
listed as a
I
yes,
think he
4-5.
Play
will
the
be
he
Can he
playing
is.
the
play the
Yeah,
four.
four?
Wolf can play
He
the
is
four
a
for
forward.
sure.
He is
He
a
is a
forward.
four.
He
Yeah,
is a
Yeah,
four.
he is a
I
four.
think he
He
will be
had
playing the four. Yeah,
he had a center next to him.
Yeah.
yeah.
The funny thing is,
And
him and
everybody was
Claxton is going to
talking
be good
about
in the
Michigan and
front
how that
court.
wouldn't work with Danny Wolf and that other big. And Danny Wolf was a lot of the offensive initiator on that Michigan team.
Yeah.
He was the one running the pick and roll as the ball handler. He was the one doing a lot of that stuff. That's why he got the turnovers. But his offensive package is something that can be used to help grow the team. And that's why a lot of people looked at the draft weird because we got 4 playmakers.
Right.
So we got the Jaeger pick. If that works, that's fine. I'm cool with Traore. I think Jaeger was more Sean Marks, and I think Traore was more Jordy Fernandez. Drake Powell was the athlete that everybody was kind of looking for. I like the Drake Powell pick. Um, I'm kind of on par with everybody else. I didn't understand the Ben Seraph pick unless you're going to stash him in Europe for a couple years. I didn't
But even
understand
the
that pick.
waste of a pick knowing that he should be there in the second round, like realistically, because stash picks to take one of those in the first round is a waste. You could have traded the 27th pick for a future protected first or multiple seconds, right? You could have taken Danny Wolf at 26, and you could have stuck and pick at 36 for a cheaper, non-guaranteed contract for a guy like Ado Thiaro.
Yeah.
Like, there's levels.
I mean,
to
I
this.
would have conducted
Mark
the
is
draft
still
totally
down
different.
here in terms of ability to be a general manager in the NBA. He's still down.
Or you could have stayed there and just took Fleming. If you wanted to sit
Yeah,
and
you
pick
could have
5
done that.
times, you could have just took Fleming, someone who
Supposedly,
would have a role
I
right
heard
away.
I heard the Nets traded back out of 36 because they wanted Fleming. Okay, if you wanted him so badly, why didn't you fucking take him at 26 or 27? He's a top 20 player in this draft.
Exactly.
Like, how did he fall that far? Is my question. Did he go into those interviews and like was an idiot? I don't know.
I don't know
get
what
it.
happened with Fleming. I don't know.
He was a
what
top
happened.
20 player on my board.
Rasher, Raynard, and Kalkbrenner. They were saying Kalkbrenner should have been
And that
first.
board has
Renard
fluctuated
should have been
because
first
coming
round.
into the season,
Oh yeah,
we
and
had
Kalkbrenner is on Charlotte
coming
too.
into the season we had Traore and Igor both top 6 probably.
Yeah, Traore
So,
was top 5 before college basketball started, and then he dropped out of the
Yeah.
lottery. And Yegor
Yeah.
Demon was projected 4th overall for the first month and a half of college basketball.
Yeah.
Do we think that
So-
Yegor could be like
And I don't
a
think
walking
Yegor
20
is
and
going
10?
to play at the I don't
Yegor
think
to
they're
me
going
is
to
like
play
a Tyrese
Yegor at
Halliburton.
the point. I think they're going to play Yegor at the 3.
That's
If they do
bad.
that,
That's a bad
once
decision.
again, malpractice.
That's
I
malpractice.
do
spacing is
because
gonna
when
be terrible.
I watched the press
Horrible.
conference that Yegor did, and he said I'll play anywhere they need me to play. So
Please.
yeah,
That Drake Powell, you say you like him. I seen he jumped the highest in the whole combine. So I'm asking, did him being from NC, he give you Vince Carter vibes? Like, or
No.
maybe I'm stretching it.
Yeah,
Herb
yeah.
Jones.
stretching
Sorry.
that.
Yeah, that's
No
a
way.
yeah. You
Let's
stretching
not,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I tried.
If he
Welcome
gave
to the
Vince
team,
Carter
Drake Powell.
vibes and fell all the way to 22, that's malpractice on the league. He don't got Vince Carter.
He
He's
gave me
a-
Herb Jones vibes, just more athletic.
Yeah,
That's what Dylan
I can
said
see
too.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If we got
a
Herb
more
Jones at
athletic
22,
Herb Jones. He can. You can't really
Yeah.
screen him. He's great at getting around screens. He's great at getting to the ball. Good at protecting the rim, even though he's only like 6'6", 6'7". So I like that pick. He kind of maybe the Naismith kind of player. I think they looked at the Pacers and tried to duplicate that.
That's
in
what
this
Leaf said.
draft.
That's what Leaf was saying.
Yeah.
These niggas can't shoot.
Not yet. not yet.
Damn sure not.
I don't really see the
yet.
shooting thing when you're talking about an 18-year-old. I mean, Jason Kidd came in the league, couldn't shoot a lick. So
When did the shot
Jason Kidd
develop?
was basically.
I don't even think Yegor is a bad shooter. Like if you look at his form is good. It's just
Yeah,
Dylan, you want here? What's the average for a college player shooting threes is about 30% in there.
wasn't Ian Fears shot 28% from the three this year.
It's usually like 30%, right, Dylan? From college coming to the NBA, college players like 30%.
No, the league average.
In
College
the
players-
average college, yeah,
The average is probably like 34.5%.
34.
Damn.
Holy
In
fuck!
college?
What, as a
college?
3-point shooter?
Yeah, and it's 30.
Yeah, 34. Yeah, 34.5,
Or
35.5. That's
30.
probably league average because you're considered an elite 3-point shooter if you're shooting 38% or more.
He's talking about from
Yeah.
college in the college
And
game.
for
The
Dr-
college
and
players
Drake
don't-
Powell shot 30.
In college,
Yeah.
yeah, you're probably looking at like 26 to 32%. It's probably around
Yeah.
average for college.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like Yegor can improve on this. I mean, Ant shot like 20% from the three.
We've seen the
in
improvements
Georgia,
from
like,
Yegor, which is why I don't hate the pick. We've seen the improvements.
Right.
If you watched him during conference play, which is at the end of the season, right before the tournament, and then you watched him during the NCAA tournament, plus his draft combine and his workouts, his 3-point shot has looked much more fluid. He's made minor tweaks to his shooting form that has resulted in much better shooting mechanics. So I don't see where he won't be an improver as a 3-point floor spacer. It's just how quickly he can consistently in.
I got a question for you because
I may have an
he said he watches Luka and Shea like primarily. Do we think? And I'm not saying he's ever going to beat them. Who knows? But what I'm saying is for this team, do you think he could? I don't think he's ever going to be a 25 plus points per game scorer.
No,
Halliburton.
But
Alabama.
see
I
Alabama.
think he might be a 20 and 10 dude for us. I think
I
that
can
might be
see that,
like
yeah.
he can get 19,
Yeah, like 20,
8
10, and 6.
rebounds,
Yeah.
10 and like I think that's good for our
I
team.
think
And if
he'll
we got
be
the
I
right
completely
I
guys,
think
agree.
actually
If
to take it a step further, I think he'll be a triple double type of player for us.
I don't know,
So
like
when you
realistically, I
talk
see Josh being
about 19, 10, and about 7, something like that, I think
I'm
that's
cool with
would
that.
be
If
realistic
that's
numbers.
I'm definitely at the point guard position. Hell yeah, I'm cool with
But I
that.
don't know if they're gonna play him at the
Halliburton.
point guard. I don't know why he would even talk about playing other positions if they haven't talked to him about it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's
Because
because
he
during the press conference, I don't know why they would talk about that specific thing
yeah, because
unless
like
because he said he
everybody
talked to Sean Marks, he said he talked to I guess Jordy. So if they haven't started putting that in his head, why would he not? Why would he say that?
and now you already know Price. He already seen Dennis Schroeder and Ben Simmons on the floor. He know what time it is. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
you guys are talking about the Demond quote?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Yeah,
talking about.
let me explain that. Let me explain that. The whole thing was he's saying that he'll play wherever they want me, not that he's going to go to center. He's just saying if they put me at
No,
center,
I
I'll
wasn't talking
happily
about the
play.
center part. I know that's crazy. We just took Danny Wolf. We just took some guy. I don't think center was gonna be the thing, but playing the three, it wouldn't surprise me.
For me,
Like I
for
say,
Jaeger,
it
it's
wouldn't
either 3 or 1.
if we brought all 3 of those guys over, it wouldn't surprise me to see all 3 of them on the floor together.
No,
Which
because that's going to
which
happen.
again,
Mm. You think Traore starts?
I don't know.
Over who?
But I think Traore is a
That's what I'm
Jordan
saying.
Fernandez
But
kind of player.
Traore only for me, Traore starts if you put him at the 1 and you put Jaeger at the
You got to
3.
remember, Jordy Fernandez had a ton of success with De'Aaron Fox because they said he was the guy that all put in the offense and all that stuff.
He also
So
coached Sabonis and Jokic, which is why
yeah,
the Danny Wolf pick makes a ton of sense.
yeah,
All right.
they're those picks seem like they match what his mindset is on how he wants his team to look.
Wolf, Demon, and Traore definitely, but I
And I
like the
think
Powell pick.
the
The
only
only bad
pick I
pick is
thought
Saraf.
was terrible was
Saraf.
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 It should have been
Saraf,
Fleming.
yeah.
It 1000% should have been Fleming. I did not think that there was a more
That's
fitting
why I
player
can't give
under a
you a
Jordan
F or a
Fernandez
D
system than
if the
Rasheer
only
Fleming.
pick that I hate is
Rasheer Fleming
the
was by far the best fit in terms of what Jordy Fernandez does on this team.
Or
Like there
fucking
was
Carter
no player.
Bryant, who we could have traded up for.
I agree.
Like, if you got
in the
Carter
trading
Bryant
up
over
piece.
here, you
In the
could have.
traded up piece, I've heard that they were on the phone trying to get up to 4, and or no, they were on the phone with Philly at 3. That's why it took Philly so long to put their pick in. Then they were on the phone with
Charlotte.
Charlotte at 4, and because Canupa would have been there at 8,
Right.
but I don't know whether they was trying to beat you over the head or what it was they were asking for, whether it was next year's first or whatever the case may be. But the deal didn't get done. It take 2 to tango. That's how I look at it.
See, and that's I
I for
gotta
sure thought Charlotte was
I
gonna
gotta jump in
be
for a
that
second
team.
again because I've received that comment about 40 times on Twitter in the last 3 days. I understand it takes 2 people to make a trade, but it takes 1 person to be a cheap fuck to not get a deal done. Notice how all these teams get deals done for players that they want. Sean Marks claims to want all these players and doesn't do shit to get them. Yes, I would have overpaid to go and get Carter Bryant. I would have overpaid to go and get Ace Bailey. I don't care
So
because
you
that's
would
how
have did
shitty we
what
are as an organization.
New Orleans did
I
to
would
go
not have
get
given up the 2026 pick. I would have given up Cam Johnson,
That's what
the
I'm
19th
saying.
pick, and a future first to move up to 13, though. Yes, I would have done that.
But if the future first was next year's first, you would have done that deal.
No, I'm not
No.
giving up next year's first because this is a 2-year rebuild to me. We're already in year
That's
2.
what I'm saying. So we
First year the
don't.
rebuild was
So
coaching. The second year is now
that's what I'm
development,
saying.
and next year is the final year of development before you don't have your
So
pick
if
and you need
they're
to go
asking
all
for
in.
next year's pick, you hang the phone up.
No,
The
but
deal
that's
don't
what I'm
Yeah,
get
but
done.
we
saying. There's
don't know
other
that.
offers out there
I'm
that
just
you
I'm
could
just
have had
spitballing. I don't know
that
what
could have gotten
actually
up there.
was
When you
asked
have
for.
when you have this much draft capital, it doesn't matter about one singular pick. They can want the 2026 pick all they want, but if you offer them 2 future firsts and Cam Johnson or 2 future firsts and the 19th pick to move up to 13, they're not saying no to that. In no world are they saying no to that.
Yeah, but
After
New
what we saw,
Orleans
I agree.
is in a different situation as well. They got guys on New Orleans. They got a guy. They might get rid of him, but then they got Queen and Fears. Like they good money. You know what I'm
But
saying? If you,
the fears
But the
pick don't even
Fears
make
pick didn't make
sense.
sense.
Yeah,
it
Exactly.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It
Like that
doesn't.
don't even make
I'm gonna
sense.
explain. I'm gonna explain again. DeJounte doesn't
Let
want to
him do
be
the
there,
job for free and do it better.
and Jordan, the pool party, he's there for about a
drop that
year.
bitch.
The pool party's there
Right,
for
but
a year.
you still walking into the season with them though, Ice.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean that's
thing. You still
cool for
walking
A
them,
into
but
player not wanting to be there that's under contract for like 3 more years is kind of irrelevant because he's
yeah, but
not Kevin
they gonna get
Durant
rid
or
of him.
whatever.
They gonna most likely get rid of him, and the pool and Jordan Poole, they gonna get rid of him too in a year. You know what I mean? Like that's why they took Fears
Yo,
because they know those two is not gonna be there in the long term. You know what I mean?
I just think they would have did better with come on.
And then you
They
know what would have
needed
been
a center
crazy?
more than anything.
You know
Kaman
what
would
would
have
have
made
been
much
crazy?
more sense with Traore, for sure.
If say Yegor, Powell, and
Your Jimmy's
Danny
officially
Wolf
joining
all
the
hit,
summer
right?
league.
Mhm.
Say Powell turns into a rotation 3-and-D wing, Yegor turns into an all-star, Wolf turns into whatever. This whole draft turns into an A. You know what I'm saying? So
It doesn't
that's a
Yeah.
though,
lot of
because
people that have
you
to
still
turn to
didn't get a
something.
franchise-changing player, right? And you still got 3 guys who play the same position, and you still got 5 rookies. You can't even put these guys together. Like, there's no way this draft, to me, I don't even have a problem with any one pick individually outside of Sarab. I don't think any pick
yeah,
on its face is that bad. It's the
Right.
collection of taking 5 guys and then taking 3 of them who are non-shooting point guards all in the same draft. It's like,
Can I answer this real quick? Just because
go
I
ahead.
love when stupidity strikes my chat.
I was hoping you didn't see that. Go ahead.
I know. Oh, don't worry. I looked up right before it got above the line because I don't scroll through the chat. If I see it, I see it. Positionless basketball. Tell me when small ball has worked. Please shut
Golden
the fuck
State.
up.
Golden
Small
State.
ball does
Thank
nothing.
you. Thank
Positionless
you.
basketball
I
does
agree.
nothing. You need a
but-
mixture
Well,
of playmaking, floor spacing, athleticism, and rim
And
protection.
James.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
And they
real
did
quick,
fuck off. So SMD.
real quick, Dylan, and I think people get small ball fucked up. Small ball is not putting 6'1" niggas out there. It's putting people that are versatile and quick on their feet on the court to offset the defense and the offense of the big players. You're forcing the coach to make a coaching decision on the other end because you're too versatile and quick on the other end. That doesn't mean you can't have a 6'9" nigga out there. Because you can have size out there.
but
You
that's
got
what we
6'9",
got though.
Like, so what do you
Here's
say?
my NCSA
So, like, I
account
don't
where I
know.
had college recruiting. Here.
That's
Here.
what.
This is my NCSA account where I had college recruiting. Once again,
So, like-
SMD.
I
Do this all day.
I wanted to, like, he's gonna say Golden State when they went with Draymond, Iguodala, and the big 3. Like that's
But
what
that's
he's gonna
size
say.
and left right there. Like Iggy, Draymond.
Iggy's 6'7", Iggy's like 6'7", Draymond 6'6", but you got a 6'11" Durant in there, right? So, but I mean that's.
But you still got like size, versatility, wingspan, defense.
But don't.
So they
But
can move.
we did get size and versatility. I'm not gonna say we didn't get that because Yegor is
You
6'8".
definitely got size.
Saraf is 6'6".
I hurt his feelings. He's
You
typing.
got
Powell is 6'7".
Man, that man feels been hurt.
you got height. You only got height, and
And
Danny is
Nolan Traore is 6'4.5".
no, Breeze. Look, again, I'm gonna say this like I said last year. Ben Simmons and Dayron was the 2 biggest on the team. Now you got Danny Wolf and Sharp. The same two. It's the same thing again. You got no size on your team. Or he's the only one that's 250, and Sharp is the only one that's over 250. You know what I mean? Everybody else is lightweight. Again, you know what I'm saying? You just got taller.
I want to do something.
Which is
real
why
quick.
I wouldn't put
Hang on,
Yegor
guys,
at the
hang on,
3.
I want to do something real quick. I want to just go around. I know we still
No,
have
I
free
wouldn't
agency,
either.
so things can change. But I'm going to start. I want to go around. Dylan, Pete, and then we'll go around. Give me what you think right now is the Nets starting 5. I'm just curious because I have no idea. I'm going to say Igor at the point, Cam at the 2, Cam at the 3. I guess Claxton at the. I don't. Claxton at the 5, and then who? I mean, I don't even know. I'll say
Probably
Wolf before
Wolf.
Claxton at the 5.
You might have to slot Igor at the 3 and move Cam to the 4, and then you just have
Nah,
to
you
switch
can.
up.
Yegor doesn't work at the 3.
So Traore at the 1, Cam at the 2, and then have Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say Cam at Trey at the point, Thomas at the 2, and then your forwards. I don't know who you're gonna call who the 3 and 4, but your forwards are gonna be Igor and Cam Johnson, and then Claxton at the 5. And
Are
you're
you
gonna get
giving
killed
Igor
on
the
the
starting
boards.
spot over Clowney? Because now you might cause a problem right there. Because I mean,
I didn't put this.
But why do y'all want? Why would you want Jaeger at the 3?
Where do you want to put these guys? Dylan, I'll give everyone a shot. I'm not saying what you guys want. I'm just saying what do you think is going to be their starting 5?
I can't
Dylan?
realistically put a starting 5 together until I see what happens in the offseason. If Cam Johnson's
sure.
on my rotation next year, I may not watch a single game.
Oh, he's going to be. And you're going to watch. You're gonna watch.
I'm going to
Sure
be saying
is.
stuff if he's on the roster.
I'll say, for me, Traore will have to come off the bench. Me personally. I'm not starting him. I'm sorry.
We got Terrence Mann. We got Terrence Mann. I forgot. We got
exactly.
Terrence Mann.
We got Terrence
Mann coming off the bench too.
Man is not coming. I don't know. I don't know about
I'm not. Where you putting him at?
You starting him at the 3? That the Clippers tried to do that garbage and it didn't work.
Realistically, I'm doing Semin at the 1, Thomas at the 2, somebody at the 3, Noah Clowney at the 4, somebody at the 5.
I ain't gonna lie. If I'm starting,
does anyone realize how bad this roster is? This is abysmal.
It's the worst basketball roster.
If it's me,
there's no method to the madness. It's just hard.
If it's me, just because I want to improve his Herb Jones potential, I will go Jaeger, Cam, Drake Powell, Wolf, Claxton.
No, Drake is going to the G League, my friend.
He's gonna be a two-way player.
I wouldn't put him in the G League.
He's gonna be a two-way player.
I think they're going to utilize as many of these guys as possible. The only G League guy I see is Saraf.
Yeah, I'm not putting. I would put Saraf in the G League over Drake Powell.
I kind of agree with what Gary said first. To me, is Jaeger, Cam, except I have Danny Wolf at the 4 and Clax at the 5. I think that would be a decent offensive unit.
So y'all giving these draft picks the starting 4 spot over Clowney?
I don't know if Clowney's ever been considered to be the starter by the front office and by the coaches.
No, but this year coming up though, like before, yeah. But
I mean, it all depends
on how training camp goes. It all depends on how the summer league goes. If they go out there, because I mean, we're gonna have a whole summer league team. We just drafted one, so they go out there and whatever impress. Sean Marks is gonna be there. The majority gonna be so. I just think based on what Danny Wolf can do offensively, he would start over Clowney.
And not only that, we drafted 5 rookies. Our fucking roster is packed. Most of these niggas is gonna have to go. I don't know who, but most of them is gonna have to bid.
Yeah, so what happens with Zaire? What happens with those guys? You know what I'm saying?
That's who I think.
And I like Zaire.
If he's on the roster.
I like Zaire.
Zaire might start at 4 if he's on the roster.
My gosh!
But I don't know whether he's gonna be on the roster. Ice.
He might not be on the roster.
But real quick, so what would be
because you got to remember these 5 first all get guaranteed contracts. So all of them get guaranteed contracts, first round picks.
Thanks.
So that's 5 roster spots already.
Danny Wolf to me is
I wouldn't expect Keon to be back. I wouldn't expect really, even though I really like Zaire, I wouldn't even expect him to be back.
Wofford is out of here. I don't think
I'm kind of okay with Wofford being
Zaire,
gone.
Keon Johnson, Trendon Wofford, Reese Beekman. Who else is coming off this roster?
I don't expect
Tosan is probably out of there.
Tosan
is out of here. Most of these niggas is not coming back. I think the starting 5 is going to be the new replacements for most of these.
But that's what I'm saying.
These guys are 19 guys.
That's what's going on. The starting 5.
These kids are 19 years old.
Derek Whitehead.
These kids are 19 years old. They just played 30 games in a college season. It's not realistic for them to play 82 games, especially starting. Jaeger is going to start because he's the 8th pick. Everyone else is probably going to be on the bench.
That's what
They're
I said. I
19
think
years old.
Traore's coming off the bench. I don't
Danny
think
Wolf
But
is
Danny
I
coming
think
Wolf,
off.
I
Jago is the
think
only
is
one that's starting.
I think Danny Wolf is going to start. I do.
I think Danny Wolf's gonna start too. Jago
Over
and Danny
Clowney,
Wolf is the only
he's
one.
gonna have to earn the playing time. How is he gonna earn the playing time that quickly over someone who
Summer,
has years?
summer league and the training camp.
In the preseason.
Jordy doesn't coach summer league.
If he now I know, but they see the players. He know what time it is with the players. If Danny shows out, Danny gonna get some time, bro, and he tough. You know
Danny
what I
might be
mean?
the best player in summer league.
Would you say
Yo,
seats?
on our team.
Cam, guys. Cam
Whoa.
Thomas had a fire summer league. Did he start?
He
different
had
coach,
Kevin
different
Durant
coach,
and Kyrie
different
Irving
coach,
and them on the team.
different coach, different time, different coach and different time, Pete.
Yeah, Cam wasn't going to start over Kyrie Irving
But I'm
or
saying,
James
how many
Harden
times do you
or
see if it's not a top pick that the players start immediately?
Well, like I said, you know what I'm
Yo.
saying. You got Clowney and you might have the Zaire, right? And if he is hooping and he's showing that, you know what I'm saying, that he's showing promise that he's better than these dudes, he gonna get some time. He was willing to
yeah.
give Tosa. He was willing to give Tosa some time, more time, if he kept playing the way he was playing last season. You know what I'm saying? Like Clowney was gonna have to sit on the bench. That's how he operates.
Guys, do we remember when we were starting Clax and CJ and we're like, why are we starting them? Why are we playing them? They've showed already in the past what they're going to do. They're going to make the rookies earn the time. And like I said, they're 19 years old. Their bodies may not be able to take 82 games versus grown-ass men.
Other than defensively, what is other things that Clowney does better than Danny Wolf?
Absolutely nothing. Yo.
Three better?
Is it better run? But no. I can name that.
Yeah. He does shoot.
I'm not even going to say that he's a better
a
3-point shooter
rim
because
rim runner, better 3-point shooter.
But that's a high commodity in the NBA. That's a premium right there. So you putting that on the bench and you degrading that.
no, I'm
value
not
right there
saying
in
he's a
front of the
better
other teams.
shooter
If you're Clowney
because I
and you
want
have
to
a rookie
see
start
at
over
this
you, you're
level
not going to be pissed.
Danny shooting.
Clowney's
But
been
I
there
don't-
for years. How are you going to start a rookie over him?
You got a
That's what I'm
6'11"
saying.
dude that can rebound, bring the ball up, set plays for the team. Got a post game.
No, but
got a
Ella-
post game.
But
Yeah.
Like
Ella,
he does a lot of things better than
I
Clowney.
think Danny could. I think only reason Danny wasn't in the lottery is because he's a junior. To be honest,
right.
Some people thought he was a lottery pick. Some people thought he was. You know what I'm saying? But when you older, it plays a lot into your, you know what I'm saying, where you get drafted.
Yeah. Now,
And I think his
it didn't used
IQ
to, but
is
it does
higher than
now.
Clowney's. I think his IQ is very high up there, which is why
And me saying Danny Wolf is going to start isn't saying Clowney isn't going to play. They're going to. I mean,
Exactly.
these guys
But
are
how
going
does
to
that
play.
look as a 19-year-old takes your job?
and then
Yo,
Danny
and
Wolf
think,
ain't
and then think
19.
about that, how that looks to the league if you want to get off that player. Like, you just diminish his value over, like,
Who said we want to
this
get
is
off
right.
Clowney?
He's going to make
But you put him on the
mistakes.
bench.
You have an
He's supposed to
NBA
start.
vet
Like,
versus a
that's the natural
19-year-old kid.
progression.
They put him on the
Danny
bench when
Wolf ain't
Zaire was
19.
starting. Hold on. They put him on the bench when Zaire was starting, bro. He was on the bench.
Zaire was a better player at the time.
Yeah, but Zaire's gone now,
He's a
right?
better
That's what
player?
you said.
He's a better player. So if Danny's not a better player?
No, but Ice, well, hear what I'm saying though. Once
Danny
you do
Wolf
that,
is 21 years old.
but once you do that though, you diminish your guy value though.
Nah,
You're
you're not
saying that little rookie is better than your guy
hearing.
that you've been developing.
You're not listening, Easy. If Zaire was playing better, right? And you put Clowney on the bench. Now Danny comes in, and if he plays better than both of those two, you telling me you diminishing those two because Danny's better?
No. I'm saying you diminishing Clowney. I'm on Clowney alone because you've been building up his value. If you put him on the bench off the rip, and you saying this kid that you just drafted is better than him, and if you're gonna take that as a fact, like, okay, cool,
Danny
I'm cool
Wolf
with
is
that.
actually
But
older
how
than
does
Clowney.
how does that
by the
help
way.
you with this commodity that you have on the bench now? What you
Bro,
gonna do with him now?
that's like drafting Dylan Harper and you keeping D'Lo at the point guard because he's been there longer.
Yo,
Like
You
what
gotta get rid of
sense?
that
Of,
nigga.
like,
All right,
but that's what I'm
I
saying.
gotta wrap this up, y'all. I gotta wrap this up. I gotta go. We'll keep him back. Dylan, when can you join us? When can we go live again?
I should be free Monday. Bearing any news, maybe we'll do an emergency
What-
pod. But next 2 days, I am
All
a
right.
bit busy. So we'll
So-
shoot for Sunday or Monday.
We'll shoot for Sunday on Monday. All right,
Yes, sir.
guys. Ice, Breezy, Pete, Big Priest, LM, everybody, Easy. Appreciate everyone coming by. I gotta wrap this up. I gotta drop off.
Later, guys. Later.
All right.
Later,
From
fellas.
Texas
All right, peace
to the
out.
Good,
world.
everybody.
Thank
Great
y'all.
convo, man. Great convo.
And God bless.
Yes, sir.